Hey guys, welcome to Meet the Fight. Today we have Lecki to join us. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So, there's the thing. I often hear that Forsaken is bad. Why exactly?
Well, Forsaken is bad due to three things. First, you can't actually confirm stuff with after parry. When you parry enemies' move, it isn't consistently when you'll parry and confirm 12 frame. For example, as Windfall, you can jump above for a low move, and the enemy will be stunned for 14 frames, and you can actually hit them after it. But with Forsaken, if you'll parry move, you can't most of the time confirm it. You can't hit enemy after parry. You can sometimes, but it isn't consistent. It depends on client, host, and connection stuff. I will tell you about it later. Second thing is Forsaken gains really small amount of stamina after parry. Like, for example, if Windfall will avoid, side avoid, or just avoid enemy's move, he gains a lot of stamina. If you'll parry enemy's move as Forsaken, you gain really small amount of stamina. Unfortunate. The third thing is correct Forsaken deck doesn't exist. It's because parries confirms after parry should be consistent. If 12 frames aren't consistent enough, you can't actually use decks with 12 frames normally with Forsaken. Well, that's why you can actually try with 11 frames as startups, but if you're starting with the 11 frame moves as startups, and the deck will be way weaker than with normal 12 frames everywhere. So yeah, that's why Forsaken is bad in my opinion.
So how do you play with it if it doesn't work? Is there any way to play Forsaken in its current state?
Actually, there is a way to play Forsaken in current state. First and most basic thing is you have to remember about stamina management and stamina pressure. The most important part as Forsaken is tab blocking. You have to tab block and just basically hold your block only when enemy's move is coming. If there is a small gap between his moves, just release guard and press it and hold it again when the enemy's moves are coming. It looks basically like this. You're just tapping your guard button, and it allows you to waste less stamina while fighting enemy. It's really important as Forsaken due to not consistent confirms after parry. Like if you are trying to parry after parry, normally can't confirm 12 frames. So most of the time you should go into stamina pressure and stamina management. So you first wait until enemy stamina will be small. Enemy will have small amount of stamina. Then you can attack him, because player without stamina is harmless enemy. So basically, tab block only when enemy move is coming. Next thing is even if you can't confirm 12 frames consistently. You have to remember it depends on connection and host and client stuff. What does it mean? For example, if someone will invite you, you'll have advantage because you're client. There is client and host. Host is hosting the game, and client is just a guest in this session. If being a client allows you to confirm stuff more easily. I don't know how exactly it works, but it works. So if connection between you and your enemy is good and your client, you can actually go and try confirm stuff. After parry, you can go into wobble, into back around, etc. It should work, but most of the time it will be inconsistent or it won't work at all. In this case, you can actually try go after parry. You can try go into strong move immediately. So if you'll see you can't confirm anything while fighting against enemy, after parry, try go into strong move. Strong move, strong move. Why? It's because even if you can't actually deal damage after parry, you still can deal stamina damage. Basically, you can drain enemy stamina as you should drain. Try to pressure enemy so he will lose his stamina. It's really important. As I said, enemy without stamina is a harmless enemy. So after parry, if you'll see, for example, wobble won't work, go into cleaver enemy, and sometimes it's really a good alternative because enemies are impatient. Most of the enemies are impatient. They will, after your parry, they will try to interrupt you. So you can actually go after parry into strong move and you will confirm it. Why? Because enemy won't hold his guard. He'll try to interrupt you. But after parry, he'll be stunned enough. You can actually hit him with strong move. And instead of 100 damage with a 12 frame move, you can hit him for 170 with back fist, in my case. Back fist, even guts punch into wobble, which is 250. This is great because if enemy will hold guard, he will take his stamina will drain a little bit. But if he will try to attack you, he will receive hit, and it will be more. It will cost him more health than just getting hit, but by 12 frame move, which is really cool thing. Next thing is you can use 11 frame moves everywhere in your deck. What does it mean? It means in normal deck you can use 12 frames moves right everywhere, right? As for second, as I said, you can't often. So what you can do is create your deck and put everywhere 11 frame moves, or in some stances. So after parry, you can try going to 11 frame move. It will be fast enough to actually hit enemy, confirm stuff after parry. So this is actually the way to play for second. You can, instead of 12 frames, you can put 11 frames. But I have to say, it's the deck with 11 frames as startups will be way way weaker than with normal 12 frames as well below Bakura. Due to smaller damage and impact on guard is smaller too. You can actually see most of the 11 frames has stamina impact below 10, where well below Gut Punch, Drunk Rain, Bakura has 30 average stamina impact, which is, as I said previously, really important as Forsaken, because if you can't confirm stuff, you have to pressure enemy stamina, otherwise he will be on advantage every time, because he can just constantly attack you. So yeah, that's the way you can actually play Forsaken. That's the ways, yeah, in my opinion.
Tell us more about your deck, and how do you like to play with it?
What I'm doing with my deck is I'm using a few techniques and also the things I said previously. The most important part is what I'm doing as Forsaken. I'm trying to pressure enemy stamina. I have a lot of strong moves in my deck, like Sidekick, Back Fist, Face Back Fist, Guts Punch, and Liver Knee. So after parries everywhere, after parry, I'm going into strong move. At the beginning of the fight, the first thing what I'm doing is I'm checking if connection is good, if I can actually confirm stuff with 12 frames. If it's constant,
Kind of
forgot the word. Yeah, consistent. If it's consistently enough, I can play normally with this deck. I can actually go after parries into 12 frames moves. But if you can't, if your enemy is lagging, teleporting, etc., if you can't confirm anything, well, what you can do is just go into strong move, parry, strong move, parry, strong move every time. But you have to remember, if enemy will see you're in, for example, top left. In my top left is back fist, and after parry, he will know I will go into trust, strong trust, just strong trust, and actually he has enough time to side dodge it. So what I'm doing is parry, unlock into sidekick. My deck is created like this. I have trusts everywhere except top right. So in top left is back fist, in bottom left is face back fist, in bottom right is liver knee. Each of those moves are trusts, heavy trusts. So I'm showing my enemy, look, I will hit you with strong vertical move, and they will notice it and they will start to side avoid it. As Windfall, you just side avoid these moves, and in this case, if I will notice, they will actually try to avoid it after my parries. So I'll parry move, go into back fist, and he will avoid it. Next time, I will parry, unlock. I will parry move, unlock into sidekick, and after sidekick, I'm using jab. So I'm dealing. I'm dealing with it 200 damage like this. Sidekick jab, 200 damage. For me, for some people, it may be bad, but in my deck, nothing is going to top right. I can do it only manually. So I won't go to top right without my accidentally. I can do it only with unlock step cancel to sidekick. The next thing is I'm using side unlocks and back unlocks. For example, I'm using crouch unlock, backwards like this. It allows me to avoid moves that has range below 2 meters, like cleaver blow. So I will hit enemy with back fist, unlock. He will try to chase me with cleaver. Some people use that as startups. And I'm doing back fist. Back fist, wobble, unlock, back fist, wobble, and etc. Every move that ends in bottom left, after this move I can unlock with crouching elbow. Also I'm using crouching unlock to make distance if my stamina is I have small amount of stamina. This is really important part. You can first actually do normal dodge unlock, but if you don't have enough stamina or enough time, unlock with crouching elbow is really fast. It works 90% of the time. You just have to know when you should use it. Like doing it from neutral without hitting enemy is really dangerous, because enemy can use crane, for example, and crane will always reach. Crane is really strong move. You can't avoid it with this unlock. So, for example, I first hitting enemy with wobble. Enemy will be stunned a little bit longer, and then I can unlock safely. Sometimes, if you really need to unlock because your stamina is low, I'm doing unlock into parry. So if I see enemies waiting with drunk rain, I'm doing unlock parries, and then I'm going to strong move. Or if enemy is prepared, I'm doing unlock parry and unlock step cancel into sidekick. It's just mind game. You have to remember a lot of things, but that's the deal. If Forsaken doesn't work, you have to use broken things to actually win with it. Next thing, like side unlocks with Bakura into Bakura. This is useful because my normal string is Bakura into Temple Knock into Spin Back Fist into Bakura, and this is right left. In this case, with unlock, this is Bakura Bakura, which is from the same side, like this. So now it's right. Normally it's right left. It's strong against Forsaken players and Phagin players because they have to guess while fighting against me what I will do actually. What I'm doing in my deck too is pleb dodges. I think I'm using reverse pleb dodges. What does it mean? Pleb dodge is reverse pleb dodge is manual dodge into parry. So if you accept 2 straight moves, for example, really strong moves, like enemy has face back fist into guts punch, but enemy is mixing up those 2 moves really in great way. You can't actually predict what to do. You can actually try to avoid first back fist like this and then parry immediately. You may parry the second move if they will follow you. This is really strong. You can use it. You can try it by yourself. Avoid first move, parry second, instantly. Parry. Avoid parry. What I can say is the next thing. I'm using because I'm using unlock step cancel to the right. I have also crouching elbow as just attack. This is trust, so this is strong against Phagin players and staggers. So besides sidekick unlock, I am also using mixing up with crouching. so enemy actually won't expect what will come next, because I can do it every time, everywhere in my deck. Bakura, Temple Knock, Spin Back Fist, and from nowhere, Crouching Elbow. Back Fist, Paint, Crouching Elbow. Side kick again, Crouching Elbow. I'm using it often when my normal combos doesn't work. And yeah, this is my whole deck. So some may say jab is waste, as I said, but jab on hit is 4 and on guard is 0. I have to be really careful while using this, and I know it's really well,
unsafe.
You putting this is unsafe. You're putting yourself in a danger while using jab here, because you have to when I'm doing side kick, when I hit enemy, I'm doing jab after it. But if I won't hit enemy with side kick, then I have to use Wobble. Otherwise, it will be unsafe for me. And if I will hit on guard with jab, enemy can just basically entrap me with crane. This is really unsafe if you don't know how to use it correctly. So yeah, those are basics. I think I said a lot of things, how to use Forsaken, how I'm playing with Forsaken, how to actually play with Forsaken. Those are basics. You can try other stuff like normal pleb dodges, or using swords, and or sharp impact. Use a lot of sharp impact to actually hit enemy after parry with sharp impact, even if you won't confirm it. Yeah, I think I said a lot of things. Yeah, that's it.
So let's do some fights to see it in action.